We have the recruiting overlord, Brian Smith, on with us. Now, we were talking a little off air, Brian, and you told me that out of the names we're going to talk about today, that Jaime Ffrench probably has the most interesting or compelling recruitment right now, as we are, just a few weeks away, a little over 3 weeks away from Jaime Ffrench's verbal commitment. And, there have been new trending leaders throughout the process. I feel pretty good about the work Miami is putting into his recruitment. Not saying I expect him necessarily to pick Miami, but I know Miami's right up there. What are you hearing about Jaime Ffrench?
That's twofold. Number one, usually by this point with an elite kid, myself or one of the other guys in the recruiting industry has gotten some kind of scoop that is like, okay, this young man's picking school X. I haven't gotten one text, haven't heard one rumor. And at this point, it's just really late in the game for somebody not to, and maybe somebody hasn't shared it with me, but we all talk in some capacity. I haven't gotten that. Number two, he didn't just visit Miami, he visited LSU and Miami for that late July thing. Both schools are up there, but people still think Texas. It is all over the map. And I've known Jaime since he was in 8th grade. Like, everybody knew he was going to be a dude. Nobody knows where he's going. I'm fascinated with it because Miami, I thought they were crazy a few months ago. Like, they're just going all in on him and Dallas Wilson, and they were just really, really trying. But now they might have been right because they're, like you said, I'm not sure that he will pick Miami, but they're right there. He wouldn't have visited for the event at the end of July. He would not if he wasn't interested. Jaime could have went anywhere else he wanted to. He chose to go Miami. What's that tell you? Yeah. So the Canes went from a team that was probably 3rd, 4th, or 5th to like right there towards the top. Yeah. That would change your program. Like, he is a difference maker at receiver. Very shifty and has incredible body control. We'll see what he does, but I haven't heard a definitive answer yet. I'm just really, really curious.
Yeah, it does sound compelling. Bryce Fitzgerald is another one who came down to Miami for that barbecue 4-star defensive back out of Miami Columbus. It really seemed like Miami gave him something to think about. Now, up until, I don't know, a few weeks ago, I didn't really feel a whole lot of positive trends with Bryce to the Hurricanes. I'm starting to feel more positivity now, but is it too little too late, Brian? Where do you think Fitzgerald is trending as he's a little over a week away from announcing?
I haven't heard anything other than that Miami's putting in a full court press, but maybe that has something to do with him being the Columbus kid. I've talked about that before. For those who don't know, Mario went to school there, so did his buddy Alex Mirabal. I think that Miami is a team that everybody kind of slept on. Florida State had some momentum there at one point. Like, everybody likes him. He's a great kid, very versatile. I understand why everybody's recruiting him. But it's the big three, Florida State, Miami. I haven't heard anything else. Like, if I had to pick, I would pick Miami. I would have heard something else on one of the other schools. I have other people that really dislike Miami that would have told me something. They didn't think he was going to UM. I haven't heard anything from Florida State in the last week or so. I find that interesting. Yeah. Nothing on the Florida State side. Like, they love getting kids out of Miami's backyard.
Yes, they do.
I get it. I haven't heard anything on that. So wow. I like UM. Maybe I'm wrong, but I like UM.
Now, the Gators are trying to get a player out of Miami's backyard, but his father played at Florida. That's Ben Hanks Jr. I don't know. I keep feeling as if not for who his dad is, that Miami would be far and away the leaders in 100%. His recruitment. But since, his father played there and he had a great official visit, did Ben Hanks Jr. to Miami last month. Florida has kind of been perceived to be the favorite there, with Miami just never going away. That's you'll hear that a lot about Mario Cristobal as a recruiter. He just never goes away. How do you think this is going to play out with Ben Hanks Jr.?
I've heard two totally different things. One said UF feels really, really good about this. And then I got one at Miami. Watch out for my polar opposite. Two people I really, really trust. That's very rare.
Yeah.
But like you, Dad being a UF guy, the only thing I could think of is Dad is concerned that the coaches aren't going to be at UF, which brings me to the following point. Why would you even make any decision before October to kind of see what happens with Napier? If the Gators are truly, that's how I would look at it.
Yeah.
If he's announcing now, I don't see why you would pick Florida. If he announces for this college football season, I think it would be Miami, unless he's just going to Florida no matter what. But then why wouldn't he have already committed months ago? Because I mean, he's been to UF 100 times. Your dad's Ben Hanks. So I mean, for those who don't know, his dad was a really good linebacker for the Gators in the 90s. He was a very good football player. But again, the timeline is very interesting. People talking about decisions coming and all this. Okay. I like Miami if it's reformed, just looking at it logically. But again, the two sides that I've heard are polar opposite answers. So I'm a little confused.
So when I asked our Locked On Canes Insiders chat who they wanted me to ask you about, a name that kept coming up, but I don't know if there's anything new on this player, but that's 5-star defensive lineman Iose Epenesa. There's been some Miami buzz in recent months, but this is like, if you run like an X search or a Google search on Jaime Ffrench, you're going to find something new pretty much every day. You run a Google search on Iose Epenesa, it's very quiet from his camp. There's not a whole lot of new stuff there. Have you heard anything new on Epenesa?
I have not. That kid is pretty isolated with where he lives, so he's not going to have guys like me just strolling through practice. Like if he played at Miami Northwestern, he's going to, it's just a different answer.
Yeah, people would be going through his garbage to see who sent him mail.
100%.
Yeah.
It's crazy in South Florida. But in all honesty, that is the silence of the lambs right there, my friend. There's nothing going on, at least publicly. I don't even know what his decision timeline is. This kid has kept it close to the vest for a long time, but it's gotten to the point where it's like, I'm hoping for him and for us that he announces soon just so it's over because nobody knows.
Yeah.
It's wild.